Hi there. Sure, come on through. Let's go take a quick peek in your bag. Anything metal, sort of toss it here, and then we'll be good to go. Cool. Here you go. You're welcome. Hey, how's it going? You're welcome.
Hey everybody, how's it going? So the city council meeting is going to start in 10 minutes and I'm signed up to give public comment. So we'll see how this goes. For those of you that have been following the Inglewood stuff, a quick recap for those of you that haven't. So the library apparently is the home base of dictatorship here in Inglewood that runs the entire city. And they issued me an exclusion notice back in March. And one librarian by the name of Carrie Watson approached me one day and said, "This is for you," and she sat it on the ground. Well, eventually I got to it and it said that I had been excluded from the library for committing the crime of harassment. Well, it turns out that one allied security guard wasn't doing his job correctly, and he got caught on camera by me, and it got put on the internet. And next thing you know, after I get this library exclusion notice, they issue a warrant for my arrest. Well, that case has since been dismissed. And that would be because, one, they all lied. Two, they had no grounds on a First Amendment argument, and the DA had no response to the First Amendment motion my attorney filed to dismiss. In fact, the judge had ordered him to respond to the motions. She allowed him to not do that and instead present oral arguments. Well, when it was his turn to present his oral arguments, he of course dismissed the case. So, back to the library exclusion. That is under the ordinance of this little local municipality, and it falls under the standards of behavior, which are also unconstitutional in Inglewood, and they are designed for class warfare and discrimination against the homeless. Imagine that. So, I still have to take care of this library exclusion because it was stayed during the criminal case. Well, since the criminal case has been dismissed, my attorney sent the city a letter and said, Ms. Benson is requesting that essentially you drop this. It's a violation of her First Amendment rights, and your standards of behavior in this process are unconstitutional. Well, they didn't heed that advice. So they decided that they're going to move forward with the library exclusion hearing on Wednesday. So this coming Wednesday in these very council chambers, we'll be having a hearing to determine if the exclusion was lawful. They have hired a hearing officer and another entire separate attorney firm to represent the city. Yeah. And so the rules for this hearing, here we've got interim chief of police, Vance Fender, who by the way did not get the job for chief. Inglewood has since hired a new chief of police, and he's from Missouri. His name is Jackson. I've seen his resume. He's a company man. And because Sean Lewis decided to hold the community process behind closed doors, after he announced at a study session that he was having a community process for people to understand and see the candidates for the next chief job, they went ahead and held that behind closed doors as well. Yeah. So they've hired a new company man. That'll be Chief Jackson. I guess he starts November 12th. And until then, Vance Fender will be the interim chief of police, who is currently the assistant chief of police. So I'm just here to make my 3-minute public comment. As you saw at the beginning of the stream, I highlighted the signage over there on the table. The rules of decorum relegate me to the back of the room, like the back of the bus, because I'm recording. I'm not allowed to be anywhere in those council chambers recording, apparently. I will be recording my public comment. So we will see how that goes. And remember, the mayor has tried to get me thrown out for clapping. He stopped the meeting and told me to leave, even though the whole room was clapping. Which, by the way, you guys, I just came from Denver's city council meeting because they hold their public comment at 5 o'clock. And oh my goodness, the pro-Palestinian group they hijacked the council chambers. There was clapping, there was protesting. There were about 10 sheriff's deputies. Turns out that Denver actually knows how to run a meeting so they don't get sued. And of course, there were no arrests, and there was no threat of arrests, and there was no threat of removal, and all that other BS that Inglewood likes to do over here. So we're going to see how this goes tonight. And so I thought I'd just live stream it. There will, of course, be, a plethora of awards to begin the city council meeting. So you'll have to be patient, and we'll have to watch all the awards and all the clapping and all that stuff, even though no clapping is allowed. It doesn't say there's any exceptions. So I just want to show you this again. So tonight's award presentation is going to be Judge Jefferson giving awards to his Restorative Justice Program volunteers. So we'll see how this will be presented. His Restorative Justice Program is actually pretty damn good. And remember here that the judicial of Inglewood is separate of the city, and the judge is elected, and there he is. Yeah, I'm relegated to the back of the room because I'm recording. I'll go ahead and comply with that today. My goal is not to get arrested, although, of course, all of you know I am not afraid of challenging that. However, I don't want to be sitting in jail and miss my hearing on Wednesday. So is this stable enough for me to sit on? I guess so. So I'm just sitting here on the table, swinging my feet. There's Sean, city manager. There's the idiot Steve Ward from the Steve and Joe Show. Hashtag Steve and Joe Show. There's the other half of the show. Mara. Thank you. So, hey everybody, I want you to, whoever you pray to, I want you to say a little prayer for our friend Irish Rover in Florida. As you know, they are about to get absolutely pelted down in Florida. And this may just very well devastate the entire state. And so he's with us tonight, and I've asked him to fly out to Colorado and play some golf with us out here, and he's decided to hunker down, and he is not far from the beach, and I'm very worried about him. He might get mad at me for saying this publicly, but I don't care. He's going to just have to get over it, because both my husband and I are very worried about him. And of course, all the other areas affected by that hurricane. Yeah, of course, Asheville, North Carolina, being abandoned essentially by the federal government. Yeah, right. I mean, but come on, people. What is the goal of the federal government when it comes to the American people? Yeah, you would think it would be to save them. It's not. It's to divide and conquer. That person in the black shirt runs the restorative justice program, and they are very, very good at their job. So I do think it's important to highlight volunteers that are actually serving people and not government. So tonight's award ceremony might be pretty nice.
All right, everyone, we back on. I call this meeting to order. If you're able to do so, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, good evening. Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Present.
Member Nunnenkamp. Member Crane. Present. Member Russell. Present. Member Ward.
Present.
Member Wright. Present. Mayor Sierra.
Present.
6 members present, 1 absent.
Thank you, Member Nunnenkamp. Did let me know she will be out for tonight. Moving on to 5A, minutes for the regular city council meeting on September 16th. Any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve the minutes on September 16th?
I move to approve the minutes from September 16th.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Can I get
That is Vance Fender, Assistant Chief of Police, Interim Chief of Police, AB.
Member Crane. Aye. Member Russell. Aye. Member Ward.
Aye.
Member Wright. Aye. Mayor Sierra.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 ayes.
Thank you. Moving on to recognition. Tonight, the city would like to recognize the Inglewood Municipal Court Restorative Justice Program.
And remember,
volunteers.
City Council does not like
The Inglewood
Judge
Municipal Court
Jefferson.
Restorative Justice Program provides opportunities for victim-centered, community-based responses to a crime by offering facilitated conversations between responsible parties, harmed parties, and community members, which create opportunities for accountability, repairing harm, and restoring relationships. Volunteers have diligently supported the Restorative Justice Program from the 2020 inception through conversation and through current program implementation. Currently, there are 60 active volunteers with more than 30% being England residents. They have participated in over 100 restorative justice conferences and in total volunteered more than 1,600 hours since June 2020. The Restorative Justice Program cannot function without community volunteers. Program volunteers serve in a variety of roles within the Restorative Justice conferences, such as facilitator, community member, or surrogate harmed party. Volunteers also participate in initial and ongoing restorative justice training and practice sessions, serve on the program advisory team, and support a variety of administrative projects. Thank you to all the Restorative Justice Program volunteers for sharing your time, energy, and wisdom with the Restorative Justice Program community. There's that echo. If Ames Stinson, I'm not sure if there's any words from the program volunteers would like to say any few words, or just anyone from the Restorative Justice Program.
Hi, Council. Thank you so much for the recognition of our amazing program volunteers. I actually misspoke initially when I sent in our application. There's actually 49% of our volunteers are Englewood residents. And in doing the cost around how much money one volunteer hour is worth, if you will, nationwide, it's actually 1 hour of volunteer service is worth $33.49, which means that our volunteers have put in worth $53,500 of service since we started in 2020. So just a huge recognition. We have folks that are 15 years old all the way through their 70s that are really committed to this, and I just want to give them an opportunity if anybody wants to share with you some of their experiences.
Thank you very much.
Right on. Look who just led the clapping. That would be Judge Joe
I'm not sure if
Jefferson.
anyone else wants to share, but thank you very much for volunteering and putting this program into place. I know, Your Honor, Joe Jefferson, that this is something that you've been really preaching over the years, so really appreciate everything that you've done for the city. I would love to take a picture with all of you if you guys would allow us the honor. So I do have a certificate for you. I'm not sure if there are any other words tonight. Oh yeah, please, yeah, please move forward.
Here I am. I just want to know if it's within the rules for us just to hoot and holler for this program, because we love it. It's our privilege to be in it. We are changed through every encounter we have, and every one of the circles that join with us have changed. The skills that are learned and the healing that occurs is really impressive and unimaginable, and we would love to have all of you come and take a training and participate. And I think Ames has said the rest, so thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And can we put them on?
You can go to holler. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kate Redford, and I just want to thank you guys for having us this evening. I wrote a short thing because I continue to be long. My experience with the Restorative Justice Program has brought me deep humility and profound feeling of being one with my community. I joined the program to make a difference, to be of service to my community, and to help the people in my community avoid the emotional, physical, and financial costs of the criminal justice system. I consider my participation to be one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done in my life, and I want to thank you, Englewood, and thank Ames and all the RJ volunteers for providing this opportunity for our community.
All right, everybody.
I just want to take a brief opportunity, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your kind comments on the program, but I just wanted to highlight the really great work done by our program manager, Ames Stinson. They have been a true champion of the community as well as these restorative justice philosophy, if you will, here in Englewood. It's really proven this model here in Englewood. And I think we couldn't do it alone without these volunteers. This truly is a community-based effort, and without their efforts, we really could not be successful to prove this model, which I think really is the best restorative justice model that is municipal court restorative justice model here in California. So I just want to give them a great round of applause. Thank you.
They weren't going to let Jefferson talk, and he just went right up there. As the Steve and Joe show just glared at him. They don't like the fact that the judge is smarter than them. They got men complexes, if you will. No chairs, no nothing, just this corner in the back of the room. Thank you all for your service. It's good stuff. Thank you.
There's an expectation that the presentation will be conducted in a respectful manner. Council may ask questions for clarification, but there will not be any dialogue. And please limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Inglewood residents must provide address across streets. Non-Inglewood residents must just provide the name of their city. If you have addressed council in the last 90 days, you would be moved to the bottom of the list, and written materials may be submitted to the city clerk in advance or at the meeting. Audiovisual materials must be submitted to the city clerk by 5 p.m. on Thursday prior to the meeting, and public comment will be limited to 90 minutes in total for tonight. Up first, let's see where we're at. That's the next page. We have Allison Crowley here to address council. Good evening, Allison. If you could just state your name and your address and cross streets.
My name is Allison Crowley.
Looking for a trash can.
Oh, come on, wait, that's it? Those who have lived in this neighborhood have witnessed the absolute demise of this property for decades. Police we've spoken to also advise that as long as they've been in the Inglewood Police Force, this house has been an issue. While I'm sure there are other problem properties all over Inglewood, unfortunately, I want to share why this property is unique and needs to be addressed as a possible threat to this community. Issues of this property have been ongoing. There is no way in 3 minutes that I can explain every instance we've observed in the last 2 years since purchasing our home. However, here's a summary of the concerns of this property. We've previously contacted Adult Protective Services several times over concerns with this homeowner's well-being and care. Recently, following a violent dog attack in August, where the homeowner was placed in the hospital. I'm unaware if the homeowner will return to this house or will need further care beyond what they can provide themselves. The dog was euthanized due to this not being the first instance of attack. They fail to secure their dogs, which are often seen running loose in the neighborhood and escaping into other yards. Most notable, there is ongoing criminal and suspicious activity among the individuals who live at this address and visiting this house. I've overheard verbal arguments between individuals living at this house, threatening violence to one another. There have been reports of fights, thefts, and gunshots. They have called the police on one another. One individual is well known by the local police force and is constantly in and out of jail. We observed people constantly arrested at this house, and most recently there was a shelter in place that went out to our neighbors. We have observed many suspicious individuals in and out of this house, some even loitering on the block and in our yard. It is allegedly used as a trap house, which is a place where illicit drugs are bought, sold, and used. We see multiple suspicious individuals in and out of this house at all hours of the day, night, and into the early morning. We even return to our house at times and wake up to strangers loitering in our yard. Police presence at this house is constant. Over the 2 years we've lived here, police are there several times a month, sometimes even in 1 week. This house is using up time, money, and resources of our local police force. From our front window, we have observed individuals completing hand-to-hand drug deals and open drug usage in their front yard and in vehicles at the house and on the street. We suspect drug contamination at this property and have also reached out to the building department with concerns of the state of this house. Lastly, multiple code enforcement issues. I would like to thank Inglewood Code Enforcement for their prompt response, follow-up, and action on those matters. This house constantly has junk, scrap, and trash on the side of their house, in their driveway, all visible from the street. The back of their house has been condemned, as well as their back garage, which the garage, as far as I know, is still currently condemned. The activities at this property have caused an unreasonable interference with the use and enjoyment of my property and those on the 3900 block of South Inca. The individuals in this community are concerned for their safety. These individuals are ruthless and have no shame or continue their activities despite constant police presence, surveillance, and arrests. My ask is that this nuisance property is abated to the fullest extent of the law. I ask that the individuals in this property are no longer able to use this location for their alleged criminal activities. And lastly, I just want to thank the Inglewood Police Department, Code Enforcement, the Fire Marshal, and Arapahoe County Service.
Allison, thank you for your time tonight. Your 30 minutes are up. We do have questions for you. We'll start with member Wright.
Thank you. I just want to confirm it's the 3900 South Inca block that it's at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And one more question. Is it the same people or are you seeing a rotation of people coming in and out of there that live there?
Both.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Allison, just a quick question. So you did say that there is an adult that requires adult protective services. Do you know if that person is the person that owns the property?
Correct.
All right. Any further questions for members of council?
I do
Go ahead,
have-
Right.
Okay. So the person with adult protective services was taken out and has not returned, is what you said.
Thanks,
As
Malcolm.
far as I know, they are either currently still in the hospital or have been deemed
do you know then if possibly the other people there are related or just, I don't know?
Some are related and some are not.
Okay, all right, that's good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Knows everything about that house.
Thank you for coming tonight. Up next is Regan Benson, Monroe Talking Theater. Good evening, if you can state your name, your address, or questions.
Good evening, council. I'm not giving you my cross streets or my address, but it is good to see you again. I want to talk to you about all those things that we've talked about in the past as far as the criminalization that you've... Excuse me, this is my time. Excuse me, this is my time, and I'm going to make public comment, and I'm going to do it for 3 minutes uninterrupted, and if you interrupt me, I'm going to talk louder. So, back to my public comment topic. Do you remember me standing up here and talking to you about the criminalization that you started down in the library on me? Guess what? It blew up and the case got dismissed. And then you guys decided that you were going to try to exclude me from the library, and you're going to go ahead and hold that meeting on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. It's a hearing right here in the city council chambers. And I'd like to invite anyone that would like to come to that hearing on the record here tonight. It is public comment time. I don't know why the city council is getting up and leaving the dais. That's interesting, but that's okay. I'll keep talking to the members that are staying. You've heard me talk before about this bogus criminalization that occurred downstairs in the library, where 3 librarians by the name of Bethany, Carrie, and Corrine lied to Gene Mulder, the cop of Inglewood, who then continued to coach them in their lies. The DA dismissed the case where this city tried to have me criminally charged for harassment. You know why that case got dismissed? Because it was all a lie. I told you it was coming. And nobody took me serious. And that's really unfortunate. And then the city doubled down and didn't get rid of the library exclusion and instead told my attorney, we're going to go ahead and try to ban her from the library. And so that hearing is this Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And I would like to invite anyone to come to that public hearing right here in the city council chambers. The city made note that they were going to post that hearing, but I don't see it posted anywhere. I'm not here to abuse my 3 minutes, so if somebody would like to start the timer and let me talk, if not, I guess I'll just keep talking, and I'll just use public comment time to continue to talk about all the discriminatory behavior that has gone on in Inglewood with the homeless community. This city for years has capitalized on criminalizing the homelessness, and guess what? The gig is up now, because I'm not tolerating it anymore, because it's class warfare, discriminatory, arbitrary application, criminalization, and the inability to use the public restroom in this building. There's also another known fact that library and the staff are using this idea of having to use a key for that bathroom to have the homeless lock themselves in the bathroom so bad things happen in the bathroom. That's going to come to an end. This city is going to answer. I must be right. This city has spent the last 2.5 years targeting me for no reason, none, other than my voice and standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. You've seen numerous cases, factual, of police abuses, unlawful use of force. And this city is now having to answer. And look what's happening. Everybody's running and hiding. I wonder why that is. Remember the Stephen Joe show went on the internet? And Joe himself talked about how glad he was that a troll from Canada helped with the criminalization. Is my time up?
Your time is up.
So is that why you fools came back? Time is up. You didn't know what to do, so Tamara told you what to do. You pussies! You
I'm
cowards!
asking you to leave.
I'm not leaving.
For the record, let me know that I have asked Ms. Benson to leave the council meeting. And we will now move on to the next speaker. We have Matt Crabtree, who can talk about validations.
Mayor, before we proceed with Mr. Crabtree, can you please confirm that the live stream is happening right now?
Sure. City clerk is the measurement correct? Thank you. Apologies, Mr. Crabtree, when you're ready, you can just state your name and your address across streets.
Good evening, Matt Crabtree. Excuse me, I'm at Sherman. Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. We'll be speaking to you tonight regarding an update on the two citizen-led ballot initiatives. It's charter initiatives. We work with the benefit of the audience and the public that's listening from home. Ballot initiative 301 has been assigned, and 302 has been assigned to our issues. 301 will provide, if passed, the England voters the opportunity to directly elect the mayor of the city. First ballot initiative 302 will change council procedures and how vacancies are filled. Specifically, how council seats are filled by 75% supermajority vote. No decision is made within 30 days. The vacancy occurs in 6 months for the next election, special election. So that's more of an update for the community and the benefit of the city council here that those ballot numbers have been signed. Maybe we'll have a request. And I would like to see council support this evening a resolution for ballot issue 301, which would be the direct election of the mayor by the people of Maine. So request that. And apart from that,
Mr. Crabtree, thank you very much for your time tonight. Any questions for Mr. Crabtree? Seeing none, Mr. Crabtree, thank you for your time tonight. Up next is Jan Riper, who you're also speaking about the ballots. Good evening, Ms. Riper. You can just state your name and your address across streets.
Jim Wyford, for Federal, Bellevue. So, let's see, first of all, I want to say, yes, this, group is discriminatory. You allow loud applause when you want, which was indicative at the beginning of the council meeting, but I can't applaud to say I agree with something. And it isn't that we're asking to be able to boo, but you don't even let us say, hey, we're in agreement. So you have no idea what these people think out here. So you are discriminatory. So I wanted to talk a little bit about ranked choice voting, which I see is going to be talked about again tonight. First, I would urge you to just table it until after the election. It's on the state ballot for the state, and I would suggest you table that until we see what the overall state
feeling is on that. Secondly, I've got a few items that I think are huge on this as far as oversight and what to look at before it goes through. Monetary concerns. Arapahoe County specifically said they don't know how much it will cost. Although their software will do our ranked choice voting, they have no idea what it'll cost to put it into effect. When we looked at the water issue in Inglewood, everything was supposedly a go. And look how long that has taken and it's still not up and running correctly. So are you going to do that with our election system? You're going to put us in a system that has not been out and tried? It's only effective in 63 cities and municipalities across the USA, not in Colorado. So you're talking about using us as a guinea pig. And I think, just making that arbitrary decision is really, really poor government, which you've already voted through once. The other thing is that it is not, there's no one ranked choice voting process. There are many different choices in terms of putting it together to have it. If you just throw it through again,
Yes, you should have Irish.
or trying to, you are not looking at governance. You're looking at throwing something that you want to see in there. You need to decide how it's going to be handled and what the processes and procedures are around it, at the very least. And my opinion is it should go to a vote of the people in Inglewood. And also, if you budget the training time, it's an extremely complex system. In some places, up to 50% of ballots have been thrown out of a vote because people didn't know what they were doing. So those are things you need to pay attention to. Please, have a good night. I wish I could applaud myself.
Thank you, Ms. Whiteberg, for your time tonight. Any questions for Ms. Whiteberg? Seeing none, thank you for coming tonight. And last is Rebecca Kramer. Speak about the Blue Streets. Good evening, Rebecca. Can you just state your name and your address for cross streets?
Rebecca Kramer, and I love you. I had the opportunity to attend the Complete Streets public gathering at Grow and Gather on the 25th. And I also had the opportunity to speak to Rachel, the engineer, the week before. I had called with some questions, and she called me back very quickly. We had a very nice conversation for about a half an hour. I looked at the plans, and I was able to voice some of my concerns with redesign. What I would ask for tonight, I found a perfect opportunity to implement something that Steve Ward has talked about multiple times, and is that before we implement this project, we have the opportunity to put up some temporary barriers, because one part of the project is to eliminate all of the parking on both sides of Old Hammond, and that street serves many purposes. It enters the medical district, so ambulances, due to the traffic problems on 285, take the jump off, they're going to Old Hampton until they reach Logan, and then take a right turn, go over to Drive, and get to the car. One situation that could occur, should the parking be removed, is that there will be nowhere for people to pull over and let ambulances and fire engines and other emergency vehicles proceed when they're going down the streets. If the medians are put into place between the blocks, and there's someone making a left-hand turn and there's nowhere for anyone to pull over, it may back those ambulances up for a severe period of time. In 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, people die in an ambulance in that time. It will also restrict the ability for RTD to be
Thanks,
able to
AB.
unload at the bus stops and allow traffic
They're gonna
to
answer.
move through. There are ADA considerations. I've heard Ken speak to the lack of ADA accommodations, especially in the medical district. There are people in the different apartment houses and multifamily structures that have ADA, RTD transportation, and they pull over and use that parking to load and offload people in wheelchairs. I also believe that businesses, the restaurants along there may suffer because they will not
These
be able
feet,
to where their
I know, huh?
pull delivered any deliveries.
No chairs, no nothing over here for
The
us.
items they need to produce their meals. And I think that they could also suffer because there won't be any parking available for patrons to be able to go in and eat at those businesses. We have a really unique little spot up there, but this is the perfect chance to put in the temporary barriers to simulate the removal of the parking on each side of the street, even if it's just for 2 weeks, and actually study traffic flow to make sure before we spend millions of dollars on redesign.
Rebecca, thank you very much for your time today.
Okay.
Thanks,
Any
Deb.
questions for members of council?
Yes, they did.
I have one for you. Go ahead, Member Wright. I was gonna ask, so you were able to attend the open house for Complete Streets.
Yes, I was.
Did you bring up any of these potential temporary, just temporary, barriers or any of these, suggestions to the engineer, Rachel?
I did,
Okay.
yes.
And what was the feedback from?
There were a lot of people there. She was answering a lot of questions, so she really didn't have a lot of time to address it. We did have a 40-minute call the week before, and I spoke to these same issues with her personally.
That's because she pre-planned this with the mayor, so he would ask her a bunch of questions.
And being familiar with it, I believe this is an incredible opportunity for the city to put into place what Steve has talked about so many times, is that we try it out before we buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Member Wright.
Thank you. In the conversation, was anything said about EV laws with RTD and stuff like that? You bring a good point and something's passionate to me.
Most of the issues that I brought up tonight were not things that she stated, that they weren't things that she had considered when she had done the designs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Batman Wing.
I mean, they're pretty, I just don't think they're functional for that area, especially with all the emergency traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with no further questions, Rebecca, thank you very much for your time. All right, and that concludes public comment tonight. Member Wright, when you are ready, you can give a response.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone who's attended this evening. For once, I don't have 20 people that I'm responding to. Ms. Crowley, I'm going to be putting in some council requests regarding the issue that you brought up this evening. I have a list of questions, so I have to be thoughtful in the request, and some fellow members may be putting some requests also. Mayor, can I do those now, or do I need to wait?
You can say them now if you like, it, so
Okay.
we make sure that we cover them.
Yeah, Shannon, it's bad, huh?
The first request I would like is how many times we have had officers, code enforcement, out there, and how many abatements have there been? And I guess the other question I would be is, what other actions can we as a city
Thanks,
take
Aurora.
for this property that, could be a major problem for the neighborhood, that we could help this neighborhood at this time. So we'll start looking into that and see, not sure all that we could do, but definitely look and see what we can as a city. Ms. Benson, I can't comment, you mentioned that you have a hearing coming up on Wednesday. I have to leave it at that because justice has to do what it does. Mr. Crabtree, you said the initiative.
All right, we're done. Oh, look what we have here. That was a good move, fellas. Come back and sit down. You agree, right?
We're having a conversation.
Oh, did I interrupt?
Yeah.
My apologies. That was very rude of me. I apologize.
Just talking with Chris here.
So I'll just stand here then. Let's see what Dirk has to say.
Not much, right?
Yeah, I think we just hold that. Yeah. Till we have a base officer available for it, because we can like freeze the credit cards anyway. We can do that themselves. No. At 7:30 at night, over the phone for financial stuff. No. out on the Flylands or something.
Guess there's no crime in Inglewood tonight. Let's just kind of hang out with the cops. Ugh. No crime in Inglewood tonight.
What's that? I'll go, you're tired.
Yeah. That's funny. Because he's been stuck in the head. It's like he likes
How much does it cost, Batman Wayne? They all make 112 grand a year.
I'm on my lunch break, Reagan.
Then what are you doing in here? Go to the break
Enjoying
room.
my lunch break.
Then go to the break room.
I can eat my lunch break wherever I please to have lunch break.
All right. Well, people.
And I get a 45-minute lunch break. And it's lunchtime.
Okay.
Now,
What's your point?
My point is I can be here. It's not costing the city anything for me to sit.
So you clock out?
No, I get a paid lunch break.
Oh.
Because if I get a call for service, I have to go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Not the most enjoyable lunch break I've had, though.
Then go somewhere else.
I might just do that, Reagan.
That's a really good idea, tall feller.
All right, short lady, have it.
Yeah, fuck you. You fucking escalating
Thanks, guys.
fucking pig. That's all you are,
You guys.
is an escalating fucking pig. That's all you are. Just can't keep your fucking mouth shut, can you, Dirk? Yep. You know what? I hope this new chief comes along, and I hope this is the first fucking video he watches.
Well, there's plenty of us out there, so.
And there's plenty of you on video.
There's at least 3.
Just keep running your fucking mouth.
Reagan, you're a peach.
I'm a peach, and you're a fucking pig. What do you think society would rather have? Dan just approved him to start his lunch break over again because he's a fucking pussy. No crime tonight? Then what are you doing here?
I was told to come over.
Yeah, just following orders. Guess it's time to go now. That's the sergeant. Do you know how to put your vehicle in park?
I do.
That's good. Glad to hear that. Because Matthew Stanley doesn't. Remember, that's the guy that got cleared in the fatal shooting where he forgot to wear his body cam in the report. He also forgot to put his vehicle in park because he didn't know how. All right, time to go home. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Wow, that went pretty good. What do you think? I thought it went fairly well. It's just more on display of what Inglewood is about and what that majority city council is. So to recap, I don't even know why asshole Sierra was interrupting me. I don't know. It's my time. You're not going to interrupt me. I'm not going to stop talking. Not going to happen. So I guess they decided the only way that they were going to show their disapproval was to get up and leave the dais. And everybody got up and left except members Kim Wright and Rita Russell. So they sat there. They honored their oath to their service to that board, and they did not get up and abandon public comment. So take note of that. I'm taking note of that. Tina Prang, shame on you. Thought you were maybe showing that you were a tad bit smarter than that, but clearly you're not. Chelsea Noonan Camp was not even here tonight. But isn't that funny? The boys were the first ones to get up and run away. And then Sean, the city manager, ran away. And then Tamara, the city attorney, ran away. And then the clerk, I guess she got left and then came back up. I don't know. But I saw Stephanie Carlisle come back up there. I guess they figured out that somebody better get back out there and let her know her time's up, because it doesn't appear that she's leaving. And none of the cops probably better arrest her. I fulfilled my part. I was relegated to the back of the room. They tried to find a solution. Snarky? Maybe I missed some of that. Oh, Snarky, yes, that is correct. The 3 minutes, I didn't even get my 3 minutes because there wasn't a quorum. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for that. Thank you for that reminder. Snarky, thank you for, uploading that. I do appreciate it. Got buffering, I guess. We're going to have this hearing Wednesday here in the City Council chambers at 11 o'clock. And hired a hearing officer who's going to hear from an attorney that's representing the city on why they should go ahead and ban me from the library based on the exclusion notice that they gave me on this particular day that said, you can't come in here because you committed the crime of harassment. And then lo and behold, a week later, the cops issued a warrant for my arrest. I mean, how interesting. And it all came out on body cam footage. Isn't that interesting? So I am going to be putting that body cam footage back up for you. I'll probably, that'll probably be set for a premiere so we can discuss it again. So watch for that. That'll be coming tomorrow. And, then I come to give public comment and remind them that this case has been dismissed and put it on the record that the city has decided to move forward with trying to ban me from the library. And what does the majority city council do? They get up and leave. I think somebody might be flying right over the target of corruption. Yeah, I've had this figured out for a while. I tried to warn them. I tried to give them the opportunity to do the right thing. They chose not to. And they continue to choose not to. They continue to dig their heels in deeper and deeper and deeper. So this hearing on Wednesday, regardless, it's set up for me to lose. That's not a surprise. We're going to lose that hearing on Wednesday because they hire the person they want that comes here and does what they want them to do. And she is the hearing officer. Okay, that's just the way it is. And then in the rules that they set up in their city code, their unconstitutional appeal process of this exclusion that was unconstitutional to begin with, the hearing officer can modify the exclusion. So I suspect the city will be arguing to modify the exclusion since they didn't get it right from the beginning, right?
So there'll be that little rule. And then the hearing officer has 3 days to issue her ruling. So the hearing officer is going to play the fence and not say a word during the hearing, right? And she'll say, thank you, everyone. I'll have a ruling issued in 3 days. And that's how that hearing will go on Wednesday. But it is a public hearing. It's in the council chambers here in this government building of the Inglewood Civic Center. So if you are local or know someone that's local and would like to come watch this, you should. There, of course, will be rules of decorum. You can't record. They've already made it clear that if you need a transcript, either party can go ahead and pay for that transcript, right? They're already setting the stage. They're already setting the stage. My attorney, she's very kind, exceptionally kind. And graciously knows how to put the hammer down. So this will be a very interesting hearing on Wednesday. So I have to go. I have to go tend to my sweet little slabby puppy. And you guys, thanks for being here tonight. I guess they decided not to haul me off to jail. The mayor doesn't have authority to make me leave that meeting. He can ask me to leave. I don't have to leave. Not one single cop asked me to leave or came up to me and said a word. Stepped out of the council chambers. I see 3 cops. I start recording, and lo and behold, Dirk Smith, who, by the way, is not Inglewood's best cop. I'll just put it that way for you. I'm not going to speak to others' tragedy that they've experienced at his inability to do the right thing. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. So thanks for being in here, you guys. AB, thank you very much. Hey, Liberty Blair, Irish, thank you very much. Again, you guys, please keep Irish Rover in at least your thoughts and your prayers, because he is about to endure that probably Category 5 hurricane, not that far from the beach. Wish you were here, Irish. And everybody be safe. We're in terribly volatile times. And I think things are going to get much worse. And they are. And they continue to. And what I also wanted to tell council tonight was, I'm no longer asking for you to stop violating people's rights. I'm demanding it. So, with that, have a good night, y'all.